what type of Celtic team turn up, but I'm totally confident if our team turn up, it doesn't matter what Celtic do on the day. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel. In this video, it's not something I normally do, like previews and predictions to games, but for the Old Firm coming up, the international break, we're dying to get back into things. I'm going to put my little neck in the line and give a little prediction in this video. So just before we jump further into today's topic, I know I've not had any videos up in the past week and a half. I just took a little break during this international break, but I have been recording videos. Like, I've done an iBooks IQ that'll be out at the start of next week, and I'm recording a little podcast with someone that used to play for Rangers, and I think you might be quite interested to hear his stories. But so the videos are going to be back to normal. You've got this video here, the reaction on Saturday, and we're back to normal from then on. But for today's video, as it says in the title, we're going to be going over the Old Firm prediction, talking about how the international break might have affected the team selections, going over the team selection itself, and dare I say, predicting the score. So we'll start this off talking about us and our availability as a squad. And there's been a big thing coming into this about, you've seen a lot of Celtic fans online saying they're not going to have X first player here, X first player there, but I think we are actually going to have more players out than them through this. Like, theirs is COVID-related issues, but ours is actual injuries itself, because we don't know if Aribo is going to be back, and if he is ready, will he be up to speed and match fit to be thrown straight into an Old Firm? Because if he is 100%, which is hard to do with the actual game time, I don't think many people would agree with leaving him on the bench. I think you would put him straight in, but it's going to be hard for him to be at that fitness level yet. You've got Roof, obviously still out. Jack's just coming back from his injuries. But in saying that, it looks like he's at full fitness already. He played 90 minutes for Scotland yesterday when I'm recording this. And I've watched the game personally, but from speaking to other Rangers fans and neutral Scottish fans said Ryan Jack played pretty well. But you go on social media, you do the usual scrolling, and all the Celtic fans, Aberdeen fans, like you name it, all saying he's absolutely horrendous, and this is the reason that Scotland are so bad. But yeah, like the Tartan army, it's just a toxic place. Our other players who are away in international duty, you had Davis, who came on only for 5 minutes yesterday, so he should be fresh enough to be playing for Saturday if selected. Kamara played 75 and then was subbed off because he is the captain for Finland. He is their main man. He's literally strolls games. I've not watched an actual Finland game, but I just see highlights of him playing for Finland, and he literally strolls games for them. And then you've also got Hagi as well, who came on for 15 minutes in the Romania game. So our players seem to be decently fresh, minus probably Jack after the international break. I say that though, but Borna has not had the easiest of tasks yesterday as well. He played 90 minutes against Mbappe and his mates, so that of course is no easy task. But there was worries that he might have been out earlier on because Croatia didn't include him in his squad because they said he had a small knock. But you would think yesterday, being able to play a full 90 minutes, and I've not heard anything about any injuries from then, that he should be fit and ready to go for Saturday. The only other player that's going to be hit and miss whether they make the starting squad or not is Big Philip Helander. You think if fit and ready to go, Gerrard would put him in because Goldson and Helander have been absolutely rock solid together recently. I will get into my team prediction in a little minute, but Helander wasn't involved in any of Sweden's international games because of a little niggling injury, so at this point we're just sitting with our fingers crossed that he can make it. Okay, so getting to the tough part, talking about the team now. I think McGregor's going to start in goals. Like, I understand people that say they want McLaughlin in, they think McLaughlin's number one, but I think McGregor is better at just full-on shot stopper. Like, he is the best shot stopper we've got, but McLaughlin, everything else as a keeper, I think he's better at. That, like, I think the ball distribution, the coming out off his line quick, everything else that comes with a keeper. But a goalkeeper's main job is to stop the ball going in the net, and I think that is the reason why McGregor will continue to be the number one, and rightfully so here. I think he'll start in net. Tav's also going to start at right back. Goldson will be in there 100%, and like I was saying just in the previous clip to this, if Helander's fit, I think he will start. I wouldn't mind Balogun playing. I personally think Balogun should be in with one of the two, but Balogun will start if Helander isn't fit. But if everyone is there, it's going to be Goldson and Helander. Borna's going to play left back if available. If not, obviously Big Calvin. But this is where things get interesting. We start going forward. Like, I'll just get out of the way. Like, you know Morelos is going to start up top and Kent's going to start left wing, right? You know about that. But it's just the rest of this squad here. So, you know he's going to sit two. So Jack, I don't think Zunga. I think Zunga will make the bench. I think it would be. I'd be very surprised seeing him flung straight in for an Old Firm. I think he'll be on the bench for this game, so I'm not going to include him in this. Let me know in the comments if you think / would like to see him involved in this, but I think his spot will be on the bench for this one. So I'm going between Davis, Kamara and Jack. Now for me, this is difficult because I go back to this Ross County game that we've just had and I'm starting to think about how the play was then. Of course we still won that game 2-0, but that was one of those games that we just did not look comfortable. It's one of those games that you say you need to win championships. Like obviously you need to win games, but it was one of those games that we didn't play great. We still got the result. So you had a lot of people on social media going, oh, what is this? And trying to find problems here, there and everywhere. Obviously you can't play 100% every week, but it was the first time in a while that Jack and Kamara had played together in midfield again. For me, they're just so similar. I get why he's doing it, because the left back, right back, ball forward. Kamara drops into left back, Jack goes to right back. I totally understand the system, but so many times you see Kamara and Jack, I literally think their brains are the same and they want to do the same job, and I sometimes think they cancel each other out. So does that make me say Davis and Kamara set? I'm not sure, because then you'd like Jack's rough and tumble and grit for this Old Firm. So honestly, like, Kamara has to be one of them for me. It's just between Davis and Jack, but for this one, I'm going to predict it's going to be Jack and Kamara that sit. So now you've got a guy that predominantly plays behind the striker and the right winger. Now you've got the talks for this is Aribo, if fit and can make it back, Barker, Jones, Hagi and Arfield, all to fit in these two positions. So Arfield, I think it would be extremely harsh to drop, because lately he's arguably been our best player in the past couple of games. Against Galatasaray, I thought he was brilliant again. I think it would be really harsh not to play him. I think it's going to be Arfield in with the middle two and Hagi out wide right. And I think a lot of people might shout for Jones or Barker to get a shot in that line, because you think Celtic are playing this 3-back that they've been doing. There might be gaps in behind, it depends how the game goes. I do think that it's going to be Hagi. I would want it to be Hagi. I think it's harsh on Jones. I think Jones is actually quite harshly treated overall. Again, dropped from the European squad. Jones has got to be thinking, what have I got to do to get a chance here? But I think, so that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with that back four: Kamara, Jack, Arfield, and the front three of Kent, Morelos and Hagi. So just before I go into the final part of the video of predicting the actual scoreline, I'm just going to go over the team's forms again, just as a little reminder. And so far, we've only drawn 2 games to arguably the 2 hardest away places to go to in the league, Livingston and Hibs. So they're tough games. Games you'd have liked to have seen us coming out with a win, but it's understandable the teams getting draws there. That's just the type of places that teams tend to slip up, especially the Old Firm. But everything else, we've been comfortable, scoring, winning by good margins, beating Galatasaray, beating Willem 4-0 away, which is literally such a huge result. We're coming into this on absolutely brilliant form. Now, briefly talking about their form, I think it would be stupid for me to say they're out of form, because ultimately they're doing what champions do, not playing amazing, but they're still grinding games out and actually getting points. They've won quite a few games this season by only 1 goal, but all that matters is they're getting the points on the board. Like Celtic fans would say, they've not been playing absolutely brilliant, and they're going to be absolutely class for this game, so we'll see what type of Celtic team turn up. But I'm totally confident if our team turn up, it doesn't matter what Celtic do on the day. So with that being said, our team in sky-high confidence. No fans being at the ground, which I think has actually benefited our team at times, because controversial may be, Ibrox is well said, it's well known this, like, it's a great place when you're winning, but it can be horrible if you're losing, because as fans we come to expect the best, and if you're underperforming in the shirt, the fans, whether that's a right thing or wrong thing, they let you know about it at Ibrox. So it feels like the players have been playing with literally chains off them, they've been unshackled this season. What it looks like so far, like, obviously we want to get fans back in as soon as possible, and football, it's not the same without the fans, but it's actually benefited the team a little bit, I would say, if not a big bit, because you've got some players in that team admit to pressure. Like, you've got our captain saying that he gets nervous when playing against Hamilton. Like, maybe with no fans there, and I don't think anyone would disagree with me, it has been a lot better this season. He's putting goals on the board again, getting a lot of assists. Like, this type of player, like, we need that when fans are back as well. But I've held off long enough now. My prediction, I say my prediction. I've got a couple of different score lines here depending on what the lineups are. But if Christie and Edward are fit and available and back after the COVID scares, I think Celtic will get 1 goal. But I'm going with us getting 3 goals. I'm thinking a 3-1 Rangers victory. Like earlier on in the week I was going with 4-1, but then as the time's getting closer, you know, I'm starting to be a little bit more realistic, and the hype's turning a little bit of nerve. But 4-1 isn't impossible. It isn't impossible, but my realistic prediction is 3-1 to Rangers. But what I'm going to do now is go over to Twitter, and I'm going to take other people's opinions because I've asked for some others, and we'll just get into what other people think about the game as well. So big thanks to everyone that responded on social media with your predictions to the game and your team lineups. And we'll start it off here with Jake, and the team that he would like to see is McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Hollander, Borna. So I think that's going to be a recurring theme with that back four. The middle two he's went with is no Jack. He's went with Davis, Kamara and Arfield, Kent, Morelos and Jones up top. So he feels like Jones has done enough to get a place over Hadji. And Jake is from Northern Ireland though, so he might have a little bit of bias there as well, but he's matched my prediction of 3-1 to Rangers. Next one here, I've got Willie with the exact same team, but Hadji in instead of Jones, and again, a 3-1 Rangers win. You'll see here as well, from the responses, majority of people were all confident of a comfortable Rangers win. There was 2 draws in the responses, which I think it's not impossible to say. I don't think it's a bad thing to predict a draw. We are away from home. After all, a draw would still be a decent result. Let me know down in the comments if you would accept a draw here. I think the majority of us would all like/want to go for the win. One other one that we'll pick up on here is from Gary at the bottom here saying, just hope we don't get too complacent. You've got people with mindsets like that. And you've also got people like Alan and Steve Thompson here. Apologies for butchering that. Saying 5-0 to Rangers, and going to go for a brave prediction 6-1 to Rangers, Tav with a hat-trick. And if that happens and everyone's in lockdown, I think there might be a few little rules broke. Now that is going to be all for this video. I appreciate you all watching. If you've got to this point and you haven't left a thumbs up on the video, I appreciate it if you do. So it helps the video out, it helps the channel out massively. Subscribe if you haven't already. We've been on, like, I can't even thank you enough for the support on the channel recently. We've flown past 5,000 subscribers. It's literally since like yesterday we were on 1,000, but here we are. Again, thank you all for watching. We'll catch you in the next one, which will hopefully be a happy reaction to the Old Firm.